What's up, guys? Today we're going to play Esika, God of the Tree, better known as the Prismatic Bridge, in Historic Brawl. This is, I want to say, the most popular, if not the most popular, definitely one of the most popular, definitely top 5 Historic Brawl commanders that people choose. Front side of the card is Esika, God of the Tree, so it can come down as a mana dork, and it can give your other legendary creatures vigilance and the ability to add 1 mana of any color. But no one plays that side. Everyone plays the Prismatic Bridge side, so you can directly from the command zone play the legendary enchantment side, which says at the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature or a planeswalker card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Basically cheat out a really good creature or a really good planeswalker. So the deck is filled with really good creatures. We're in 5 colors, so we can do pretty much anything we want. Planeswalkers as well. All the staples, right? So we have a fair amount of those cards, but the real issue with this deck, when I was building it, I had to rebuild it a couple times because it's difficult to get out 5 colors on curve or before curve, even if you want to get this out turn forward. So it's pretty difficult to do. And a lot of the decks in the Historic Brawl queue are way too fast for this deck. So by the time you even put the Prismatic Bridge down, they already have a full board of creatures, or they already have 5 turns worth of setup going, and it's hard to overcome that. So the other half of this deck is removal. It's all different kinds of removal, every single board wipe that I could jam in here, even the weird ones like Expel the Interlopers, just so that Kaya's Wrath, just so that we can clear the board. Most of our hits are big creatures or planeswalkers, so unfortunately sometimes we're going to kill our own stuff. But since the Prismatic Bridge gives us a free card every turn, we're able to overcome our own board wipes, and it becomes a little bit less symmetrical. So yeah, that's the deck. Basically, get to 5 mana, wipe the board a bunch of times. Once the board is clear, then we play the Prismatic Bridge and go off. Let's see if we can make it happen. This is definitely a Hell Q commander, so you're going to go against all the strong ones, like Sithis. Sithis is particularly a tough matchup because they have lots of exile removal using their enchantments. So they could exile our mana rocks. This hand is got a bunch of board wipes, but only 2 lands, and these are not the colors that we need. So we're going to go ahead and mull 3 lands. It doesn't have any board wipes, but these are good creatures, and we have colors that we need and ramp. So let's keep. We go first as well. What do we want? Let's do this turn 1. Get these guys over here. They're not coming out for a bit. I think we do this turn 2, turn 3. Probably going to play the black side of this. Stomping Ground, that's good, because we just need blue now. That's the only color we're missing, because this is our white source. So let's play this tapped. Keep going, but now we have double green for Vorinclex. We don't have triple green yet, but these will fix that. Turn to Sithis as expected. We'll just pay the 2 life here. Get out our mana rock. We can play, this will give us our blue source, so we can play the Prismatic Bridge next turn, but we risk them just removing it. So I'd kind of like to draw a board wipe. That would be perfect. What is this? Gain 3 life, add 2 mana of any color. Seems good. Well, now we have triple green. We could do this next turn and kill their Sithis. I just know that if we slam this, they're gonna have removal for it. So let's do it like this. Get some lands in our hand. This will give them a target that they will probably want to remove as well. Do we? I think we already got our mana sorted out, so I don't think we grab the 2 tap lands. I think we grab the 2 lands that we can play untapped. Because if they do remove this, at least we can have a chance at playing it again. I have a 6/6. So I need 8 mana to flip it. Okay. Speaking of combat, they get to choose one of those modes. Tear Asunder, we could Tear Asunder their commander. That would put them off curve. Let's attack first. Let's just see what they do. They may not want to take 6, although they have a ton of life to spare, so that's probably why they gain the 3 life. Alright. Here's what I'm thinking. Do this. It still doesn't allow us to play this, which is a bummer. Let's play the Prismatic Bridge. If they choose to remove it with one of their enchantments, we have the Tear Asunder. So we can, let's put a stop on our, because what is this? Is this an upkeep trigger? Beginning of your upkeep. I don't know if we can time that right. Yeah, so they have the enchantment removal. We'll see. I wonder if this still triggers. No, it doesn't. Removes... Loses all abilities. Yeah. What is this for? Okay. Resolve. Defender and loses flying, so it can't attack. But it can still flip. We could Tear Asunder... We could pop this as a treasure to Tear Asunder. Man, if we just had 1 more mana, we could have done this in response, but it's okay. Do we just pop this to get rid of... Does that matter? We could play Coma next turn too, but they have a lot of exile removal, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just take the 1 here. I don't think it really matters. It didn't, yeah, it didn't work. Had to be at the beginning of our upkeep. Good to know for the future. Make sure we got the triple green. Let's go left. Kill their commander. So this, I've said this in my other videos, but I'll say it again. If you're playing against Sithis, the main thing about this deck is removing Sithis as many times as possible. It's difficult because it's only a 2 mana commander. But if you can get this to start costing 6, 8, 10 mana, it really halts their whole game plan because they have no card draw on their deck. The whole card draw engine is around Sickness. So that's the main way to slow them down. It doesn't slow them down a lot, but it's the main way to slow them down, so that should be your focus. Endless Transformation seems good. Arcana Sun's Grace seems good. Looks like we're going to get a Prismatic Bridge trigger, though. And again, we have a million board wipes, so they can make the board as big as they want. If we get a board wipe, it really resets everything. What do we get? Nyxbloom. Oh, and we get a board wipe. Okay. So now all of our lands tap for triple, right? Yep. I think we will pay the 2 life here. Do we just shatter the sky? I think we tap everything first though, right? Do we just pop this for a card? I think we do. Because we still have all this mana. Maybe we can use it. Hello.
Power surges through these lands. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Okay. We're doing it. They can still you know, exile our stuff, but yeah, Cleansing Nova. Now we can make Coma indestructible. They're gonna kill our land, which is a bummer, but we have another forest in our hand. You know, Nissa makes all forests tap for double green. Oh, they did enchantments. Oh, I see. Sure. I thought they chose creatures, but I forgot that they could choose artifacts and enchantments. So what does this do? Enchanted creature can't attack a block, it loses all abilities, and it has remove a task counter. I see. So we can tap it to get rid of the task. We don't want to lose our white sources or our forest. This is probably the safest land.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Yeah. Okay, remove that. We'll just play this tapped. Play the Prismatic Bridge. Okay, out comes Commander. We can kill it next turn with Masker Worm. I think they gotta get rid of the Nissa. Heliod. Okay, that's good. Let's get the Whirl Tree. That will make all our lands 1 mana of any color, or tap for 1 mana of any color, you know what I mean. This is probably game, but we'll see if they stick around. We We can also... Oh no, we can't ultimate. I thought it was a -7. But it's a -8. We can Golos here, right? Yep. Why not? Okay, really bad hits. Do we have a basic in here? I guess it doesn't really matter because of the world tree. Sure.
The land fights for us.
Take these counters off. See, now they're in a tough situation because they want to. Their commander costs 6, like I said. Their whole engine revolves around Sithis, so all they can do is play their commander or deploy stuff in their hand. But they got to get rid of so many things. Like, yeah, they could get rid of the Prismatic Bridge, but then you still got Nissa, and next turn I think we attack for really close to lethal. Or they can wipe the board if they have a board wipe, but then they still got the Prismatic Bridge. So this deck is all about putting the opponent in a bind. Like, do they want to deal with the bridge or do they want to deal with the board? Murray's Wick seems good, but it's not going to stop you from dying. Unless you got a board wipe, unless you got like a Wrath of God. Like the 1/1. Okay. Sure. Oh, is it non-token? Oh, I thought it was any creature. I thought that was just going to kill their token. Let's spin the wheel. Let's not Ritual Soot, that will kill all our lands. Yep. That'll do it. So since that was a token, it doesn't put the card back in their hand because it's not a real card. And so it basically kills their creature, and then they still have to exile a card from their hand. So that was a good example of how we want the Prismatic Bridge curve to go. We keep even with the opponent. We, wipe the board when stuff gets a little hairy, and then we have a clean slate to start slamming all our stuff down. Garruk. Golgari, good stuff, usually. We have the World Tree in our opener, but this isn't effective until 6 or more lands. So we've got a negate too, so that can negate Garruk. Or I don't know, is it Garruk or Garruk? I don't know. I'm gonna call him Garruk because Garruk sounds a little weird for me. We have a board wipe. I think we keep. Hopefully we'll draw into more white mana. But we have a lot of good removal, so I think we keep. Sucks they go first, but it's going to take them a while to get to their commander. Now they're in green, so they can ramp. But we have the answer. We play this one because it has white. Let's just get these tap lands out of the way. I think we have every color now, right? White, blue, black, red, green. Yep. Haywire Might, really good against our commander, but we can... it is an artifact, so we could Tear Asunder it if we want. We could also Heroic Intervention, because it has to exile target non-creature artifact, yeah. So we could Heroic Intervention in response. Give everything hexproof. Man, we really want to draw a white source. We can also just wipe the board, too. Let's pass. Tyler's Provisioner is a great card. Gives them treasure tokens for every land they play. Or food, but no one chooses the food side unless you're in a Food Matters deck. Yeah. Arcane Signet would have been cool last turn. Phyrexian Arena. We definitely want to eventually get rid of that. We don't care about that so much right now. We don't really care about this 4 damage either. We might have to get to 6 lands to get our white source. Our double white source for Shadow the Sky. Yeah. My turn. Oh, no, here we go. Double white. Wipe the board. Do you have a heroic intervention? Oh yeah, that would stop it. Okay. Wipe the board. I think next turn, red, blue, green, white, black. Yep, we have the right stuff. Now they're in Golgari, so they have a lot of ways to get rid of enchantments. They probably have Tear Asunder in their deck, so Kaya. On an empty board, key to the archive. You know, I think we just Kaya here. And I think we -3, get rid of their key. Slow them down. You know, maybe they have removal for Kaya, but that's removal that won't go at the Prismatic Bridge. They're going to have to get rid of Kaya. Next turn we could... looks like our only option is to play the bridge, but we'll have World Tree online. Nissa. We can Tear Asunder Nissa if we need to. I think Kaya dies no matter what here. Unless we permanent to control again indestructible. Yeah, we could do that. Submit 0. We have a lot of options here, but I think we just play the bridge. We could have held up Heroic Intervention and Tear Asunder, but like Kaya is not... Kaya did... Or we already got value out of Kaya. We already got rid of their key to the archive. So if they choose to... Yeah, okay. Take action. So like I said, green has a lot of ways to get rid of enchantments. So I think next turn we're going to Coma.
Welcome, my companion.
Gets rid of that.
I'll bounce back.
Okay. I think we have to gum up the board. So they either have to kill this in response. Because even if they play Garruk, they can't. Yep. I told you they had Tear Asunder in their deck. Okay. I still got a 3/3. They've had answers to all of our stuff, even after we removed their ramp. So this has been a tough game so far.
I never fight alone.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that we're Blockroid Skitter for sure. Okay. I think we have to take this turn off so that we can negate Garruk and Tear Asunder Nissa. Hopefully they play Garruk first so we can negate it and then Tear Asunder. Oh, okay, they put a trigger on the stacks. That's good. That means we can get rid of this.
History will not repeat itself.
Resolve. Uh-huh. Pass. So we gotta block the biggest one here. Down to 1. They're gonna want to play their commander. Well, I mean, we gotta negate that. Can we draw a board wipe? No. So I think we're dead no matter what. Yep, that's GG. But you could see if we had had a board, if we did draw a board wipe, we would have completely reset the board, been able to play the Prismatic Bridge and be right on schedule. But sometimes you just don't draw the right cards. And that's magic. We'll see who our next opponent is. Nicol Bolas. Wash away. Yep. Okay, we keep just because of wash away. We don't have a lot of answers specifically just for planeswalkers except for counter spells. And we don't have blue. I forgot to check if we had blue or not. I guess we could play Esika on the front side to get blue. I'll play this just because it's tapped. And pray to the magic gods that we draw a blue source. Yes. Please don't counter this. Don't do it. I know you're thinking about it, but don't do it. Just so you guys are aware, that's a bad play. Like, you really shouldn't be countering people's mana rocks. It's not a good one-for-one, in my opinion. You want to counter the things that the mana rocks allow them to cast, right? They're ramping into something big. So, you know, maybe if this person was like had 8 lands and I only had 2 and then they counter, then yeah, it's a good play. But when you're even like this, I don't think it's a good idea. We need double black. And this is the other reason. Look, I just had another mana rock. So if you're playing games and you have the option to counter someone's mana rock, it's a waste of your counter spell. They can counter this if they want to. They counter my other mana rock. They might counter this one. Nope. They are in red, so they could, yeah, I was going to say they could blow up one of my mana rocks. That's fine. We'll let that resolve. Discard a card. We are way far away from Nyxbloom Ancient, so let's get that out of our hand. They're going to go for Bolas here. They always do. I'd be shocked if they didn't play a land and then play Bolas. Okay, well, they don't have a land and they can't play it, right? So we could play Esika, but then we don't have mana up to counter them. So I think we go for Gaea And if they want to counter it, that's fine. It gets another counter spell out of their hand. Okay. Yep. They always go for it. I have blue mana too, opponent. So now Bolas costs 7. One, two. Let's just in case. I don't know if we had exactly the right mana, but just in case we didn't, I put that in untapped. My luck, if I put that in without taking the 2, we wouldn't have had the right mana to cast a Prismatic Bridge, so just didn't want to take the chance there. So enchantments is a permanent type that Grixis really struggles with. Sorry, talking over Nissa there. What I was saying is Grixis is a color combination that struggles with enchantments. So from here on out, the Prismatic Bridge should be safe. There are a couple cards that they have, and black now has the ability to destroy enchantments, but it's not common. What do we do here? We could Ashiok. Would you like to counter Ashiok? I recommend it. Do we want to put this back in their hand? Hold on. I think we just plus Ashiok here, because we don't want to put this back in their hand.
Welcome, my companion.
Let's say creature. Submit 0. They're gonna attack. I will block. Exile top 2. Nice. Yep. Definitely cards we don't want them to have. Okay.
Will refrow.
We'll go get the World Tree. Make all of our lands tap for mana of any color. Would you like to counter Engrath?
Ever seen water burn? You will.
If its mana value is 3 or less. This is 3 or less, right? Yep. Would you like to kill your own Bone Crusher?
Crew for my freedom? A fair price. The shadows awaken.
Now we get to ramp every turn. Let's go get Command Tower. It doesn't really matter because we have the World Tree, but if they somehow blow up the World Tree, it'd be nice to have that as a backup. Uh-huh. Yep. So if they have a land, they can play Bolas here and destroy something, but you know, if they don't destroy Golos, okay, so they're not going to play Bolas. That makes sense. Get rid of Golos. That's a lot of value every turn. Plus, I can spin the wheel next turn.
I'll have you in chains next time.
The fun never stops.
Terror lurks among us.
Maybe I should have gotten the Scry land. Oh well. We don't want to bounce the token because the token, you can't bounce tokens. They'll just disappear off the board. Is it Bolas time? Opponent's down to one card, backside of Murderous Rider, and Bolas. Gain a life. So they can destroy one of my Planeswalkers.
Be mine.
I think they have to go for... I don't even know what they do here, because I'll just attack it down next turn. Garruk?
You're all so generous.
Oh, I forgot it has all abilities of all Planeswalkers, so they did the Ashiok ability. That's such a good card against them. So they can't plus their Planeswalker anymore. I might not even kill it, honestly. They could... I don't think they can plus it.
All your fears are given form.
Yeah. And then... we'll just make them play it again, though. Better to have it off the battlefield.
My revenge.
And
will
we
be
have
painful.
lethal next turn, so they need to draw some kind of board wipe. We do not want to play Crooks of Fate, so we will end the turn. Sure. Let's bounce board. I don't think it changes anything, but better to have it as a blocker just in case. Yeah, you definitely gotta get rid of that. Okay. Murderous Rider. Uh-huh. Oh. Okay, all my creatures are now lands. So if they have like a destroy non-land creature, they can no longer, or a non-land permanent, they can no longer attack my creatures. I think we just bounce it, right? Wait, hold on. Let me do the math here. 8, this is 8. So we don't want to bounce this. We don't want to bounce this, because then they could destroy Ashiok. So we'll make another 2/3. We'll attack all. Exile the top 4 of the library. Yep. We'll gain 2 off the lifelink. We'll just submit 0. Ashaya is already upright. Okay. Resolve. Yes. Okay. What do they need? They need 7 mana to flip it, right? Yeah. I just went for the overkill. Well, the opponent's thinking real hard about how they're going to lose here. Do they rope me out? over 4 timeouts, or do they just bow out gracefully? Stick around on this episode of Historic Brawl and find out. So, let's talk about the deck a little bit. I think this game really, showed how the Prismatic Bridge, it just creates endless value. It's so hard to deal with. Against decks that have enchantment removal, it's not as good, right? Because they can just keep removing it and it costs a lot. But if you can get to the point where you can wipe the board, play the Prismatic Bridge, every turn you're getting a free spell, and it's usually a really powerful spell like Kogla, which can just kill one of their things instantly, or a Shia, which turns all your creatures into lands. All the different planeswalkers we have, which have all these great abilities that work in different situations. And then you don't really have to care about keeping your planeswalkers alive, because you're just going to get another one the next turn. So you kind of have the freedom of just like minusing. If I needed to -3 twice for Ashiok, I could, because whatever, I'll just get another cool thing next turn. So, this deck really puts the opponent in a bind. Like, do they deal with the board, or do they deal with the Prismatic Bridge? They, usually can't do both. So once we get to the point in the game where we have the bridge down, they don't have an answer for it, and we're just getting free stuff, it's really hard for them to compete. I do find it funny that the Nicol Bolas player is the one roping us out. Like, you're playing the most toxic planeswalker, and you're the one that's salty because you lost to a little 5-color enchantment. Gangy. Yeah. Bye. Cast 20 creatures. Oof. So that's the deck. I still feel like it could use some tweaks. I think maybe taking out some of the board wipes for more versatile removal, like cards like Tear Asunder, and I don't know. Do we have the what is it? Binding the Old Gods? Is that it's like the 4-mana saga, Golgari Saga, that comes down, destroys enchantment, but also ramps you. Like, that would be a good one. And then maybe just some like 1-mana, 2-mana like creature removal, sprinkled in there. We do have 3, pretty versatile counter spells. We have some blow to the ground board wipes. I think like Languish would be good in this deck. But anyway, this is the deck list. It'll be down in the description if you want to play this deck. Feel free to change whatever you want. I mean, you can't really go wrong. It's really 5-color good stuff, right? So make half the deck removal, half the deck good stuff, and I think you're pretty much off to the races. So if you watched this long to the video, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd really appreciate if you subscribed. And go ahead and leave a like and comment on the video. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me how I could have made this deck better. Tell me how you would build a deck. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.